Josh, here's the thing. In the normal course of events, we'd have been less than a week away from you going back in against Jack Catterall. That hasn't happened. Now it appears that you're going to be fighting maybe in New York, maybe in June, maybe against Teofimo Lopez. What happened with the Catterall situation?
Well, first and foremost, I got the injury, tore the tendon in my plantar fascia foot. So I've completely tore the tendon away from the bone and all that kind of stuff. So it's quite a nasty injury. So obviously I couldn't fight on Saturday. You know, I'm still sort of limping about and not training yet. So yeah, it's a pretty significant injury. So yeah, we had to pull out the fight or postpone it. And the rest is down to Ben Shalom really, not getting the fight rescheduled. He went away and got Jack a fight on the 25th of March. And then the week after that, or the 2 weeks after that, I then gets an email from the WBO saying that I'm being mandated to fight Teofimo Lopez. So yeah, here we are.
Well, just before Spencer comes in, Catterall's got his own view of what's going on behind the scenes. Listen to this, Josh.
Smith Eubank fight, the Friday he pulls out, and then in the week following, it was already plans to fight Lopez. So, and you know what? Since the 2 pullouts, and I'm not fighting at 140, I've vacated all these belts. Now he's got the WBO. Now our fight, I believe, in my opinion, warrants a rematch without a world title fight. You've just seen a massive fight in Smith Eubank with no world title on the line. If he's that confident of beating me, fight me with no title and move up to 147, but obviously that's not the case. And I think I've said it to Jamie and Nigel in the gym a few times. I've lost total confidence of seeing Josh back in the ring. Injury after injury, new coaches, can't seem to get it right. We filmed the gloves are off. He looked drawn at the weight, probably overtraining, and it just doesn't fill me with great confidence now. Waiting for Josh to be ready.
Catterall says you don't want to go back in with him, Josh.
Oh, really? It's ridiculous, man. The guy's not the fizziest juice in the fridge, is he? He's not very intelligent, Jack. First of all, I don't know why he wants me. He always seems to want to fight me when I'm not at my best for some reason. You can't help getting an injury, so I don't know why he wants me to fight on an injury that he knows when I'm at my best he won't be able to beat me. So yeah, it's completely absurd that I don't want to fight the guy. I vacated the belts. I stayed at the weight, vacated all my belts to fight him, and I left with the WBO. And I thought, right, let's go. And then I get an injury. You can't help getting injured. But
Josh, I'm going to pick you up on this, and you're not going to like it, right? But he did fight you when you're at your best, and in my view, and a lot of people's view, he beat you. And what people want to see, Josh, is they want to see you fight him. Now, we all understand you gave up 3 belts, right, to make the fight happen. It's been a year since you guys went in the ring, and a year is a long time in the lifetime of a fighter. He can't wait for you. He's got to get out again. So it's all well and good you pointing the finger at Ben, but you've now got to take the mandatory for Teofimo Lopez. That's fine. But what people want to understand is once you've dealt with that fight, and it comes as an outcome which we expect you to be able to achieve, which is Josh Taylor wins, are you going to then fight unequivocally Jack Catterall?
That's the plans. That's always been the plans, isn't it? The plan was to fight Jack obviously this Saturday, but I can't have pulled out. So with the injury. So then the WBO come in and says, right, you've got to fight the mandatory. So I'm like, okay, well, if I'm staying at the weight, I'm not going to lose all my titles. I'm still the king of the division. I'm still the guy to beat at the division. No one's beat me yet.
And Josh,
I've got 1 belt left. I want to keep it. I'm not going to just give it up, am I?
No, of course not.
Josh, how difficult is it for you to make 140 still? Because there's been a lot of rumours circulating that you do struggle to do that, and you may not make it again. I mean, how difficult is it?
Yeah, it is difficult. I'm not going to lie. And any boxer would be lying if they said that they didn't struggle to make weight. It's part of the job. You know yourself, Spencer. Any boxer struggles to make weight. It's tough making weight. I've been to university in Liverpool with my new strength conditioning coach, Carl Evans. Done all the body compositions and done everything like that. He says I can make the weight. So I trust his profession and his judgment, and I think I can do it.
Sure. I mean, you will at some point be moving up to 147, some point in the very near future, won't you? And if you do decide to move up, say you have this fight with Teofimo Lopez, you win that one out in America, and then you decide to move up. Could that fight with Catterall still happen at 147, or is it a case of that fight has to happen at 140?
Listen, the fight with Catterall is going to happen at some point. Don't worry about that. I want to put all that, the doubt to bed. I want to put the doubts, like yourself, Spencer, and change your guy's opinion.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm levels above him, and I'll prove I'm at my best. You know, so we'll see. But yeah, 100%, we're going to do that fight again. But right now, it's not about Jack Catterall. It's about Teofimo Lopez, who I think, in my opinion, is a much better fighter than Jack Catterall. He's much more. He's a tougher fighter. Comes to fight, and I think he's a better fighter. I think it's a tougher fight. Don't get me.
Josh, can I just ask you something? Do you get fed up going everywhere, probably as you have done since the Catterall fight, and you constantly hear comments like, do you think Catterall beat you that night? Come on, be honest with us. Do you not think Catterall should have been given the nod that night? Do you not think Catterall got the better of it? Do you get fed up with it?
No, really, because I don't really get it in person. It's online, I get it on Twitter, but in person, I don't really get it. I don't really get it online. It's been fine since the fight. So, yeah, everyone's been okay, to be honest. It's just only on Twitter where people are mouthy, aren't they, behind their profile.
Yeah, but you're getting it now. But you're getting it now, Josh. I mean, I was a major campaigner for yours. I didn't think you got the media publicity. Well, I'll say it to you when I see you then. But we got major support for you from us when you weren't getting the publicity you should have got when you beat Regis Progress. Yeah. And you weren't getting promoted, and the boxing world wasn't picking you up, and that was wrong. And I was a major advocate for you for being the pound for pound best champion around. I do think you lost that fight. I do think you went into that fight and underrated him, and I do think you went in there with a great amount of arrogance and gave him no respect whatsoever. And I understand why, as a boxer, why you possibly shouldn't give him any respects. And I didn't particularly like your reaction after the fight because I didn't think you gave him any credit. And if he's a lesser fighter than Teofimo Lopez, which you may be right on, I do hope that you go and correct what is in people's minds like myself, because I had you to be a standout Hall of Famer. And I want you to go and right that wrong, like Carl Froch did it with George Groves when people went, hang on a second here, that's an early stoppage. Everyone, and most people are, not just mouthy people on Twitter, a lot of people have got a set of balls that will say it to you, say, I don't know about that, Josh. Maybe Andre Ward won't, but a lot of people will. So I want you to go in there and straighten that one out properly, and I hope you're going to do it.
Well, how many times do I need to say it to you? I've already said it to you 3 times in this interview that I'm going to fight him again. Yeah,
but what you guys say, Josh, and what you guys do are 2 different things. I want to make sure that we get this in an unequivocal position, that you deal with Teofimo Lopez in the next 2 or 3 months when you're fit, and that you're going to fight Jack Catterall this year, so everyone can get this situation resolved properly, and then you never have to listen to it again, do you?
How many times do I have to say it then? That's the 4th time.
Fantastic. So sometime this year, you're likely to fight Jack Catterall, yes?
At some point, but listen, it's not about Jack Catterall at the minute, is it? It's about Teofimo Lopez. So if I don't beat Teofimo Lopez, who in my opinion is a better fighter than Jack Catterall, then the fight is big. So
fair enough.
Why am I thinking about Jack Catterall when I've got a bigger fight in front of me, a tougher fight in front of me?
But you think you can beat Teofimo Lopez, don't you?
Yeah, and I will beat him.
Good.
And then I'll be back.
So at some point we'll have the conversation with you, because we now know in this conversation, Josh, that you're going to fight both of them.
Have the last word, Josh. On you go.
How many times have I say I will fight him again?
Good.
I just can't.
Got it.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.